Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Start to win Yuta, I dominate the Grand Line. Chapter 1, See Circle Calendar 1510. The world-famous music capital, Elegia. In Elegia tonight, the ground cracked, the sea of fire filled the air, and destroyed buildings and charred bodies were everywhere. Port. Shanks. With heart-piercing shouts, Yuta looked at the red hair pirates in the distance, tears blurring his vision. The red-haired group who ransacked the city sat on top of piles of treasures, with their backs to her, and toasted farewell while crying and laughing. King Gordon grabs Yuta and doesn't tell the truth. This scene was seen by a boy not far away. Is this the world of One Piece? The night the red-haired Shanks abandoned his adopted daughter Yuta, Luozi looked blank. Just now, he watched One Piece's latest theatrical version of the red-haired diva in the cinema, and went to the bathroom after he came out. Then, crossover? This is the capital of music, Elegia. Red-haired Shanks, adopted daughter Yuta, King Gordon, king of songs taught musique. After watching the movie, Luozi is too familiar with this scene. He couldn't help pinching his eyebrows. Then I realized that my hands became smaller. It was the hand of a child. Luozi was stunned for a moment before realizing something was wrong. He seems to have changed back to when he was a child. No wonder the height of his field of vision is wrong, and his height has become shorter, probably back to the appearance of 10 years ago, around 10 years old. A crime. Luozi clenched his fist and sighed. Even after time travel, it's not an inconceivable problem for the body to become smaller. Just as I was thinking about what to do next, and whether I could go back, a voice suddenly sounded in my mind. Diva cultivation system has been activated. Host will act as a manager to squeeze the singer hard and get rich rewards. Novice task, as an ace manager, how can he not have a singer with unlimited potential? Please bind a singer and reward 10% of the sword skills in front of One Piece Gold. Roger cheat? Luozi was shocked. The voice in my head is like the sound of nature. Who is Roger? One Piece? 12 years ago, the man who started the current era of great pirates. 10% of this person's swordsmanship in life can completely give him the power to protect himself? After all, this world is too dangerous. In the age of great pirates, in a world where pirates roam everywhere, life may be in danger at any time. Without a little power, is it possible to count on Marine? Just like this moment. Elegia is finished, the whole city is dead, and the locals only King Gordon survives. Marine was late. Justice may be late, but it will never be absent. However, this sentence is the result of translation. The meaning of the original text is, justice delayed is not justice. You are late, there is a fart. Justice must be time-sensitive. Therefore, Marine is not very reliable, relying on mountains and water. It is better to rely on yourself. To bind a singer, one has to have unlimited potential. Luozi subconsciously set his sights on the port. Yuta, the adopted daughter of the red-haired Shanks, Paramecia singing fruit ability. As the fruit ability that appeared in the theatrical version, it is very powerful, powerful enough to be called outsider level. Able to lead others into the virtual space Yuta world by singing, Yuta is almost omnipotent in the virtual spiritual world. But if Yuta falls asleep, the ability will be disabled. So, after 12 years, in order to create a new era of eternal peace, Yuta ate the sleepless mushroom that can make people sleepless, and planned to close Yuta's world forever through sleepless death. What is Project Tsuki no Mi? Are you Uchiha Yuta? In this plan, Yuta nearly succeeded in putting 70% of the world's population to sleep. As a singer, she is undoubtedly a gift from heaven. Thinking of this, Luozi immediately walked towards the two of them. Shanks, why? Yuta, who was abandoned, kept crying as he watched the pirate ship gradually disappearing from sight. Yuta. Gordon pulled her, afraid that she would not be able to think about it for a while. Suddenly, footsteps came from behind. Gordon turned his head abruptly, and when he saw Luozi, he was both guilty and happy. Great, are there any survivors? What's your name? Luozi. Luozi shook his head. He was neither a survivor nor a native. If they had crossed over an hour earlier, they might all be dead by now, just like everyone else in the city. Why don't you tell her the truth? Luozi looked at the crying Yuta, not understanding what the redhead did. He can understand not telling the truth. After all, Yuta is still young, and the guilt of Destroying a country will overwhelm people. But don't take it away, he doesn't understand. Not taking Yuta away caused the little girl to live alone for 10 years with Gordon, the number 2 adoptive father, on this island that was about to be isolated from the world. This is the biggest reason that led to Yuta, and finally wanted to create a Yuta world. You saw it. Gordon was stunned. I heard it. Gordon didn't know what to say. Yuta noticed the conversation between the two. She stopped crying, turned around, and looked straight at Luozi. What do you know? Can you tell me? What's the truth? I don't believe Shanks he would. I can tell you, but on one condition. I promise you anything. Luozi. Gordon opened his mouth to stop, but gave up again. He watched the heart-piercing Yuta before, and several times he had the urge to tell everything. But in the end I was timid. Sometimes it takes courage to tell the brutal truth. Luozi said, after you know the truth, become my singer. I will act as your manager and train you to become a world singer. Your singing voice can bring happiness to people. You are God chasing after you. Fantastic food. Hearing this, Yuta was startled, and nodded without hesitation. I promise you, please tell me. At the same time as the voice fell, binding diva, Yuta novice mission completed reward has been issued at this moment. Extremely complicated memories flooded into Luozi's mind. It seemed that in an instant, he had practiced swordsmanship for 10 years, every move, every stroke, starting from the simplest swing of the sword, no matter the cold or heat, day after day. The final picture was fixed on a sword technique, divine avoidance. When the self in his memory used this trick, Luozi staggered a few steps and fell into a coma on the spot. Luozi. Before passing out, I heard Gordon and Yuta calling. Chapter 2. The next day, Luozi woke up. In his sleep, he finally digested 10% of Roger's sword skills. Fully grasp. Opening his eyes at this moment, what caught his eyes was Yuta's face and unique hair color. Light pink hair on the left, red hair on the right. Luozi, you finally woke up. Yuta showed a surprised expression. Raising his upper body, Luozi looked around the room. In the room like a castle, the decoration is very aristocratic, luxurious, and elegant. Here is Gordon's castle. Luozi knew that Gordon was the king of Elegia, and although the city was destroyed, part of the castle remained. What about others? He went to dispose of the corpses in the city. Yuta was depressed. The death of all the people in a city had a strong impact on her. She tried her best to pull herself together, and looked firmly at Luozi. I promise you, you haven't told me the truth yet. Can you tell me now? Didn't Gordon tell you? Luozi got off the bed. He won't say. Then let me tell you, come with me. Luozi took the little follower, first found a standard knife in the castle, and then took Yuta out of the castle and came to a forest. With the knife in his right hand, he adjusted his mind, his eyes narrowed slightly, and the last sword swept across. Avoid God. This is Roger's signature fencing. At this time, Luozi used it in the hands of Luozi, and saw a flash of silver sword energy, and the dozen or so big trees in front of him were all cut off by the middle. Yuta, who followed, opened his eyes wide. Failed. Luozi pondered. Failed. Yuta said puzzledly, your swordsmanship is so powerful, where did you fail? I have only seen a swordsman like this, who can arouse sword energy in Shanks. Shanks is Roger's crew member, and the two have the same sword skills. Roger's evasion is a black slash, and its power is much stronger. Is it because I didn't entangle Haki? Luozi thought in his heart. Seeing his pensive face, Yuta stepped forward and pulled his arm, and said anxiously, if you want to practice swords, can you tell me first? It starts with a score. Luozi said slowly. The demon king of songs from ancient times, top musique, created by the ancient song fruit ability, was finally sealed in a sheet of music. Last night, Yuta, the singing fruit of this generation, attracted the attention of the demon king of songs because of his excellent singing voice. It quietly sent the music score that sealed itself to Yuta, and used Yuta to successfully unlock the seal. It was the red hair pirates who stopped all of this, and everyone joined forces to fight, and finally Shanks killed the demon king with a single sword. But the city was still destroyed. Can you hide this from Yuta? It would be too cruel for a young her to know the truth. Redhead asked Gordon. Gordon, who blamed himself, agreed. Okay, Marine has come, and I will tell them that all this is my fault. The redhead chose to carry everything on his own. No, it's our fault. Everything is done by Shanks and red hair pirates. Tell Yuta that. The red hair pirates used Yuta's singing voice to get close to the music city Elegia. The real purpose was all the treasures here. After succeeding, Shanks abandoned his adopted daughter Yuta, who was no longer useful, and brought his subordinates back with a full load. After listening, Yuta's knees gave way, and he sat on the ground weakly, his eyes glazed over. It's all my fault, it's my fault. If I hadn't pestered Shanks, he wouldn't have brought me here. If I hadn't come here, the Demon King of Songs wouldn't have been released, Elegia wouldn't have been destroyed, and Shanks wouldn't have brought me here. Won't leave me, she cried sadly. A city was destroyed because of her, and hundreds of thousands of people died overnight. The suffocating sense of guilt overwhelmed her. Don't cry, it's not your fault. Luozi knelt down and hugged Yuta in his arms, touched the little girl's head, and comforted him. It was the crime committed by the Demon King of Songs, and you are also a victim. What happened is irreparable. After a pause, he continued, your singing voice can bring joy to others. You want to become a world singer and bring beautiful music to everyone. It doesn't seem to work. Luozi found that the skirt of his chest was wet, so he changed his story. Aren't you mad that Shanks didn't tell you the truth and left you in a place like this? If I were him, I would definitely not abandon you. It was Zeke Totma who was wrong, not my daughter. I'll take Yuta. It worked. Yuta touched his tears, his eyes recovered a little. Luozi, Shanks, this rotten man, I'll take you to beat him up. Don't talk nonsense. How could you beat Shanks? My father is very strong. Yuta glared at Luozi and said, why do you talk in the same way when you are about my age? The other party's few words really made her feel better. Luozi smiled silently and said, of course I can beat Shanks, sooner or later. Liar. Whether you can beat your father or not depends on you, little diva. If you work hard, maybe I can sit on the void throne, and I will have to bow down to me. Luozi turned on the system, and sure enough, the content has been updated. Do you want to extract new scores from the music library? What's the trick this time? He silently chose yes. Drawing in progress. Congratulations on getting the score. Target Pokemon Master. This song is full of childhood memories. The theme song from the anime Pokemon doesn't need sheet music at all. Luozi can sing it with his eyes closed. Japanese version, Chinese version, English version, he can do it. He is a serious graduate of the Conservatory of Music, so it's no problem to sing such a simple song. Diva training task. Professor Yuta target Pokemon Master. When the singing score reaches 60 points, a quasi-god level Pokeball will be randomly rewarded. Quasi-god level? A flash of joy flashed in Luozi's eyes. What are you in a daze for? Yuta suddenly said. Let me teach you to sing a song. It's a very cheerful song that yearns for adventure. You can sing. Talking about music, Yuta suddenly became interested. A little bit. Listen up. Luozi brewed for a while, and opened his mouth to sing a cappella without needing a systematic score. Whatever, in fire, in water, in grass, in forest, in the cloud, in the earth, in that girl's skirt, although, quite hard work, but be sure to get it. Get Pokemon yi. Farewell to Jing's in town. I travel with it. Win with the tricks you have honed. Let's add companions and go to the next town. It's been a long time since I sang. Luozi tried her best. But Yuta opened his eyes incredulously, and even hummed a few lines as he repeated the chorus. It's amazing, it's amazing. After singing, Yuta couldn't help applauding. You sing very well, and this song is also very good. Do you remember the lyrics? Try it. Don't take me for a fool, of course I remember such a simple lyrics. Yuta cleared his throat and sang quickly. There is no stave, just listen to it once, and I learned it. Luozi felt that it was outrageous. He really was a genius who was chased by God to feed him. He immediately turned on the system. Singer, Yuta singing score, 66. Mission completed. Congratulations on getting a quasi-god level Pokeball. Quick Dragon, Chapter 3, Singing makes Yuta forget the sadness. After the song was over, Yuta immediately followed up and asked, how is it? How is it, Z's? Z's? The corners of Luozi's eyes twitched. The last time he heard this name was from his first love girlfriend. It was the past high school life. 66 points. 66? The full score is 70, right? Of course the full score is 100. You are still far behind. Luozi said angrily. However, the first time I can sing without accompaniment to 66 points, it is already very good. Why are you so old-fashioned? Ziz, you are so interesting. Yuta couldn't help but chuckle. Luozi, Uncle Shu, I am already in my 20s. If I get married earlier, I can be your father. Speaking of which, Shanks is only 27 years old now, the same as he was before time travel. Huh? What is this? Suddenly, Yuta noticed a red and white ball in his hand. This is called an elf ball. Come out, Guilong. Luozi pressed the button of the poke ball, and it was originally the size of a chestnut, and it quickly expanded to the size of an apple. Click! A red light was ejected from the elf ball, and a huge monster with a height of more than 2 meters 5 appeared in front of the two of them. Strange monster. Yuta was taken aback, and immediately hid behind Luozi, sticking out a small head, looking at Guilong with fear and curiosity. It's called Guilong, a kind of, a wonderful creature. You can understand it as an animal that has wisdom and ate devil fruit. In short, it has incredible abilities. Guilong lowered his head, rubbed Luozi's hand affectionately, and let out a cry. Luozi smiled and touched Guilong's head. Don't look at its fat body, but its speed is very fast, and it can fly around the planet for a week in 16 hours. Simple math problems. The circumference of the Earth is more than 40,000 kilometers, and it takes 16 hours, which means that the normal flight speed of Guilong can reach Mach 2 or more. However, this is Pirate World. How big it is, I really don't know. It's amazing. Can we sit on it and leave this island? Yuta's eyes sparkled, and he immediately thought of leaving, but after speaking, his eyes dimmed. As for the little girl's thoughts, Luozi could easily guess. I was happy to be able to leave, but I felt that my existence would kill the whole city of Elegia, and I felt pain because of this, and felt that I had no right to leave. Of course, but it's not appropriate to leave like this. Luozi said, although that incident was not your fault, we should rebuild this country and restore the music capital to its former glory. Also, you promised me that to become my singer, you just have talent, without systematic learning is not enough. Rebuild Elegia. Yuta was stunned, and then burst out with strong interest. She grabbed Luozi's hand and said excitedly, you are right, Ziz, you are so smart. Let's rebuild this city. There is somewhat a sense of redemption in it. In short, Yuta now desperately wants to change this hellish island. Gordon is a very good teacher. He can teach you the knowledge of music theory. Your singing voice is bestowed by God, but if you don't learn the scientific way of vocalizing, it will cause damage to your throat. Luozi nodded and said, as your manager, I will help you arrange your daily study plan. Yes, Mr. Manager, I will listen to you. Let's start rebuilding soon. Yuta cheered up, full of energy. Go to Gordon first, this plan needs his strength. Luozi rode on Guilong's back and reached out to Yuta. Come on. Is it really okay? It won't bite, right? What if it falls? Despite speaking scary words, Yuta was physically honest. After the two sat down, Guilong's wings shook and he flew up immediately. Yuta, who experienced flying for the first time, tightly hugged Luozi's neck from behind, excited like a 9-year-old girl. Wow, it's amazing. We're flying. Too tight, are you going to strangle me? Noon. Gordon's Castle, restaurant. You want to rebuild the country. Hearing the plans of the two children, King Gordon was stunned. How ambitious. Don't you know how difficult it is to build a country? Just childish gibberish? Yes, I want to rebuild Elegia with Ziz. Yuta said firmly, Mr. Gordon, will you help us? You know everything. Gordon's expression was complicated. Yuta nods. I'm sorry. Gordon sighed, I don't have the courage to tell you, but Luozi is very brave. No need to apologize, it's me who should say sorry. Yuta clenched his small fists, will you support us? Yuta, Luozi, it is very difficult to rebuild a country. It requires astronomical amounts of money and attracts people to settle here. Do you think? Hearing this, Luozi thought for a while and said, first of all, the most important point is that Yuta needs to become the most popular singer. We can hold concerts here regularly and attract fans from all over the world. To harvest fans' money, to rebuild the country. After a pause, He laughed again, with Yuta's singing voice. Fans are like leeks, they can't be harvested. But no one will come to this island now, and the marine will not take care of it. To the outside world, Elegia has disappeared from the map. No matter how beautiful Yuta's singing is, there is no audience. Gordon said in a heavy tone. So, I have a live broadcast plan? Yuta can learn and grow while singing live, accumulating fans, and when there are enough fans, he can hold a concert. Luozi said. That would require a set of video phone bugs, very expensive. I see, although Shanks took all of Elegia's wealth, there should be some valuables left in the castle. Gordon pondered for a moment, then got up and said, I'll look for it. Luozi, you sold them, go buy a set of equipment. No matter what, I support you. After speaking, he left the restaurant. Yuta was full of surprise. Ziz, you are awesome. Planned actions don't require her to think too much, she just needs to study and sing. Do you think I think that the system rewards are too tempting? Luo Zi turned on the system silently. Diva training task. How can a singer without fans be called a singer? Find a way to increase Yuta's fans. When the number of fans reaches 100, reward 10% of the sword skills in front of One Piece Gold Roger. Obviously, this reward is cumulative. In other words, as long as there are 8 more missions like this, he will be Roger Ben Luo. Chapter 4, a week later. The 3 of Luozi carried out a preliminary cleaning of the corpses on the island. With the help of Kuai Long, the cleaning speed was very fast. Cleaning up the corpses during the day, Yuta needs to learn music knowledge at night, and Gordon is responsible for teaching her. And Luozi will go to practice, running to the forest alone to practice swordsmanship. 7 days passed like this. At noon on this day, after lunch, Gordon handed over a large package to Luozi. Here are some things I sorted out in the castle. They should be worth some money. I'll leave them to you now. Luozi opened the package, and there were some musical instruments inside. Mainly some wind instruments and stringed instruments. It doesn't look cheap. I'm leaving? Luozi tied the package again, hung it around Kuai Long's neck, and sat on it. Slightly flapping its wings, Kuai Long carried him and flew away from the castle. Wait. Yuta ran out in a hurry, raised his head and shouted, Ziz, will you come back? Luozi looked back at little Lolita. Don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow. Study hard and don't be lazy. You must not abandon me. Yuta, who had been abandoned once, was very scared now. Won't leave you behind, and I'm not that badass Shanks. I won't let you say that Shanks. Yuta said with a smile. Goodbye, then. Kuai Long took Luozi with him and disappeared into the sky in an instant. Kuai Long is very fast, much faster than modern airliners on Earth. It didn't take long for Elegia to turn into a small dot. Got to a pawn shop first and trade those instruments for Pele's and then buy some phone bugs. Flying at an altitude of 2,000 meters, Luozi thought about where to buy the right one. Phone bugs are expensive. Although it seems to be very common in anime, but after actually asking Gordon, I found out that this thing is very expensive. Ordinary civilians will not buy it at all, and the channels for civilians to obtain information are more newspapers. Moreover, what Luozi needs is not a phone bug for general communication, but a video phone bug, which is a complete set of equipment. I don't know if the money is enough. While thinking, the fast dragon under his feet suddenly called out to him. What's wrong? Luozi looked in the direction of Kuai Long's cry. I saw a huge green dragon looming in the clouds, and seemed to have noticed them, and the head of the green dragon poked out from the clouds. Wonderful creature, wonderful little ghost. Qing Long uttered words and chased after him. That's the 4 emperors, no, the 3 emperors Kaido. Luozi raised his eyebrows unexpectedly. New World is so big, can you meet the pirate emperor everywhere you go? After One Piece King Roger opened the era of great pirates, the chaotic New World went through 12 years of disputes, and finally the 3 great pirate forces emerged. The world's strongest man Whitebeard Edward Newgate, the Whitebeard pirates led by him, the world's strongest creature Kaido of the Beasts pirates led by them, Big Mom Charlotte Linlin, the Big Mom pirates. These 3 people, relying on their own powerful force, each ruled a piece of sea area in New World. As for the 4 emperors that Luozi is familiar with, the 4th pirate emperor, the red-haired Shanks, is estimated to have a bounty of just over 1 billion. It will be 6 years before he becomes a 4 emperors. Long, speed up and get rid of him. Luo Zi gave the command decisively. After receiving the order, Long uttered a cry immediately, and his speed suddenly doubled. So fast? Zoan's ability user. Kaido in the green dragon form squinted his dragon eyes, and also accelerated to catch up. Phantom beast? Or ancient? What kind of dragon is it? He has a soft spot for Zoan in dragon form? Among the beast's pirates under his command, the Cotter level masters are basically Zoan in dragon form. What are you doing? Luo Zi was speechless. He didn't expect that Kaido could still keep up with Long's normal speed. This is double the speed of sound, worthy of the 3 emperors. He patted Long on the head, signaling it to slow down. Tisk, are you idle? You have chased me for at least 1,000 kilometers. Oh he. Kaido glanced at Long, and grinned his bloody dragon's mouth. Little devil, what kind of capable person is under your feet? I have never seen Zoan before. You haven't seen many. Luo Zi pouted. Before he crossed over, the number of Pokemon had exceeded 1,000. If he could get all of them out of Yuta and form an army of thousands of beasts, it would scare Kaido to death. What an arrogant brat. I like you all for being able to escape for so long under my stalking. Kaido snorted coldly, and reported himself. I am Kaido of the beasts, and I allow you to join the beasts' pirates. Join your subordinates? I'm sorry, I'm really not interested. I can still think about sending your daughter to be my maid. Luo Zi sneered, raised his hand and pointed. Quick dragon, destroy Deathlight. Under the command of the master to fight, Long doesn't care if you are the 3 emperors or not, just opening his mouth is a ray of destruction and death. The golden energy gathered rapidly in the mouth, and finally turned into a beam of rays, suddenly attacking Kaido. Boom! The destructive deathlight hit Long's head accurately, and amidst the loud bang, the sky was filled with smoke and black smoke billowed. It hurts a bit, brat. Kaido scolded angrily in the black smoke. When the smoke cleared, Kaido's left eye was closed tightly, and blood slid down the dragon scale. Run away. He squinted his eyes. The only remaining dragon eye pupil was narrowed into a slit, but there was no figure of a person and a dragon in front of him. What kind of attack is this? It can break through my defense. The last time I was injured was 8 years ago when a swordsman named Kojiki Odin left a scar on his right abdomen. What a fast speed, twice as fast as before. I can't catch up. Looking at Luo Zi who had gone away, Kaido's expression became much worse. He thought his flying speed was fast enough, but today he saw a faster one, much faster than him. No wonder you have nothing to fear. The other side. With the explosive speed of Long, it threw away the annoying Kaido in a blink of an eye. After flying hundreds of kilometers, it quickly descended, falling below the speed of sound. Luo Zi patted Long's head. Thank you for your hard work. Long enjoyed his master's touch very much, and gave an intimate cry. That guy has a special fondness for dragons, and he wants to take us back to his lair. Thinking of the idiot Kaido following him all the way, Luo Zi was very angry. I will find a chance later and give his precious daughter to him. Take away. Come and not reciprocate. Today you want to catch my fast dragon, tomorrow I will go to your ghost island and take your daughter away. Kaido's daughter is a crazy star chaser. Just stop chasing stars, and be a backup dancer for the future big star Yuta. Just as he was thinking about how to implement his plan, Luo Zi saw Long nodding his head towards the sea below. Huh? There are islands, go down and have a look first. Descending from a height of more than 2,000 meters, Luo Zi frowned slightly as the island gradually enlarged in his field of vision. A little familiar island. There are a large number of mushroom rocks on the coast, surrounding the island. In the central area of the island, there is a towering mountain, on which stands a palace. Is this Dressrosa? Shishibukai Doflamingo's site. Chapter 5, Kingdom of Dressrosa. A tropical island with a resort style, the island is full of the fragrance of flowers, and is famous all over the world for its delicacies. She has the reputation of the country of love and passion and toys. At this time, the prosperous area of the kingdom, the avenue of lovers. Luo Zi took Long back to the poke ball and walked on the street alone. There are no toys, just love and passion. He cursed in his heart that this street is full of couples in love, wantonly exuding youthful hormones. Love and passion are there, Toys are one not seen. So, Doflamingo hasn't stolen the throne of the country yet. Rationalize the long-standing memories in your mind. Around 1509, Don Quixote Doflamingo sought op fruit worth 50 Baileys in North Blue, but failed. Then, in 1512, from the North Blue came to the New World, using intrigue to steal the power of this country. And now, it is 1510. It hasn't come yet, no wonder there are no toys on the street. Speaking of which, is he Shishibukai now? Just in time to see a newsboy running past on the street. Yelling, Luozi stopped him, grabbed a piece of newspaper from him, and ran away. Grab the newspaper? This guy is grabbing the newspaper. The newsboy shouted, pointing at Luozi's back. The people around were stunned. Even grabbing the newspaper? A newspaper is only 100 or 200 pele. Is he in a hurry to go to the bathroom? Forget it, Rez, it's just a newspaper. That little boy can run so fast with a big bag of things. His physical strength is really good. What a cute little boy, my sister paid for him. A giggling young woman helped Luozi pay for the newspaper. A newsboy named Rez gets the money, but despairs of this face-seeking world. The other side. Luozi slipped into an alley. It's not that he doesn't want to give money, isn't that no money? The instruments in the bag were not sold, and he didn't own a single Bailey. You can only rely on grabbing a few newspapers to learn about the news from the outside world. Let me see, a paper from a week ago, and one from 3 days ago. Huh. Flipping through, Luozi was startled suddenly. Sun Pirates Captain Jinbei becomes the third 7 warlords of the sea. This was the front page headline. 3 days ago, Jinbei in the photo was younger than he remembered. The content of the news said that Jinbei is the third big pirate recruited by the government after Shah Lakadar and Gecko Moria. Newspapers praised the merits of the world government, and the 7 warlords of the sea plan has taken another step forward. It has brought a stable force to this world full of war and chaos. The rebalancing of the Grand Line is the trend of the times and the eager expectation of the public. Shishibukai are only 3 now. Luozi ignored the words in the newspaper. Where's the Empress? Where's the bear? Where's Hawkeye? The 7 warlords of the sea are 7 great pirates who have been recognized by the world government and granted legal plundering qualifications. The birth of this system is because of the words of the One Piece King Roger before his death, which opened the era of great pirates. In order to cope with the rapid expansion of pirate power, the world government proposed this brand new system. Ace went out to sea in 1517. He became a supernova among pirates that year, and was invited to join Shishibukai later. So, until 1517, the Shishibukai was always understaffed, with a maximum of 6 people. Luozi calculated carefully. The 7 warlords of the sea system was proposed in 1502, the 4th year after Roger's death. Why 1502? Because this year is the first World Summit after Roger's death. Whether the world government proposes such a system or abolishes this system, it needs to be discussed at the World Summit. Because of equality? The watchword of the world government is equality. From 1502 to now 1510, there are only 3 people in 8 years? This efficiency is too low. The system proposed in 1502, around 1518, finally gathered 7 big pirates. As a result, the system was abolished at the World Summit in 1522. It's really funny. Luozi couldn't help laughing out loud. World government is playing with snakes. However, it's good to play snakes. Luozi needs this kind of great philanthropist. Shishibukai has legal qualifications for plundering, but now there is a shortage of people. I have to find a way to get in. In order to rebuild Elegia in the future, it is inevitable that some pirates will come ashore, burn, kill and loot. As long as he becomes Shishibukai, he has a legal reason to rob these pirates in turn, and this kind of income is legal. Moreover, there is one more guarantee. As for Shishibukai's obligations, sorry, Shishibukai listens to the convening of the world government if they want to, and don't listen to it if they don't want to. The only thing to pay attention to is the Seraphim project, and the government cannot quietly take away your blood factor. Thinking of this, Luozi put away the newspaper, turned and left the alley. Mixing up the title of Shishibukai, only enjoying power but not fulfilling obligations, let's not worry for now. Soon after, Luozi found a pawn shop, pawned all the instruments, and won a total of 5 million Baileys. Needless to say, these instruments are really valuable. After getting the money, he went to a shop that specializes in buying and selling phone bugs. Because few people usually visit, the boss received him warmly. After learning that he wanted to buy a set of phone bug equipment for broadcasting videos, it was like seeing his own father. The two sides chatted happily and asked about the price. 13 million Baileys? Luozi was shocked. Although he knew it would be expensive, it was also ridiculously expensive. I can't help it. Customer. What you want is a large video phone bug. The big one is a very rare species. It costs several million to catch a phone bug like this. The boss spread his hands. Oh, seeing you, I saw my own son. Seeing Luozi's uneasy expression, he immediately changed his words. It's like meeting your own father. This is already the best price. How about it, Dad? I'll bite the bullet and give you 10,000 Baileys cheaper? 12.99 million. This set you can take it home. Luozi. People are calling their fathers, and it seems that this price cannot be repaid. But money is not enough. It seems that I can only be a bounty hunter once, borrowing the heads of a few pirates to get money from the government. The question is, are there pirates around? Just as he was thinking, a video phone bug on the counter suddenly opened his eyes. Two rays of light were projected from its eyes, hitting a white curtain, presenting a picture. This is the arena. In the picture, the huge arena is full of spectators, and excited shouts sounded one after another. Ah, this is the bullfighting arena. The boss explained enthusiastically, it's a kind of entertainment in our Dressrosa. Today happens to be the competition day. However, this one is bloody and children are not allowed to enter. Dad, are you ready? Leave it alone, I'll come back tonight. Luozi smiled slightly, turned and left the shop called Dion Muxi. Bullfighting arena, gladiator competition, gamble and get rich? Children are not allowed to enter? Kuailong is not a child. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 6. The bullfighting arena is a well-known local place. Luozi asked passers-by and found the destination easily. The entire arena is oval in shape, and its appearance is very similar to the Roman arena in the previous life. In front of the arches of the dome, there are soldiers of the Thunder Corps holding handles. Wait a minute, children are not allowed in. The soldiers stopped Luozi, judging a person's age by appearance. The soldier was stunned for a moment. The child in front of him looked calm, and his demeanor was not like that of a child. Ah, how old are you? 27. Stop lying. You think I'm blind. The soldier turned into a shark's mouth. If you say you are 17 years old, I will believe it. No, you look only 11 or 12 years old. Look over there, someone is dancing sexy naked. Luozi pointed to the open-air fountain not far away. Ha, this method can't fool me. The soldiers dismissed it, but their eyes just didn't listen. Who makes girls in this country very enthusiastic? Maybe it's true. After a quick glance, it turned out to be true. Why is it a man? Damn it. The soldier covered his eyes, feeling like he was going to have a nightmare at night. Luozi strutted into the arena. Of course, the dancing man was hired with money, only 10,000 bari, cheap and affordable. After a lot of detours, Luozi finally found the registration office. Name, the registrar at the registration office said without looking up. Quick Dragon. Identity. After writing down the name, the registrar raised his head and was stunned for a moment. Wait a minute, kid, how did you get in? Children are not allowed to participate in the competition, even to watch the competition. It's not me, it's it. A beam of red light flashed, and Kuailong was released. The registrar was taken aback. What the hell? Dragon? There is no rule that only humans are allowed to participate. Luozi bewitched like a devil. Think about it, how popular will it be for a dragon-like creature to participate? The competition here will be broadcast live nationwide, right? Your excellent workability has brought a new hotspot to the arena. Grunt. The registrar swallowed. Do you want to be a registrar for the rest of your life? Is there any future for you? A man, if you want to stand out, you must be courageous. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and a promotion and salary increase is just around the corner. It's true that there is no rule that only humans are allowed to participate. The registrar's eyes gradually changed. I see, it. It's called Kuailong. It's my pet. It won't bite. After getting the registrar, Kuai-long won the entry number 128. Luozi gave Kuai-long some instructions, and then the registrar carefully took Kuai-long away and went to the contestant preparation room. As for himself, he went to buy audience tickets. At the same time, he also found the handicap in the arena, and bought all the remaining money for Kuai-long to win. Joke? Kuai-long is a quasi-god level Pokemon, how can ordinary people beat it? After finishing everything, Luozi stepped into the auditorium, found his seat and sat down. The game here adopts a challenge system, 2-2 matches, the winner stays, and the loser exits. As long as you win 3 games in a row, you can choose to rest. Some of the contestants were prisoners of the kingdom. In order to win and reduce their sentences, this group of people acted very cruelly. But precisely because of this bloody excitement, the atmosphere at the scene was extremely warm. The shouts of tens of thousands of spectators gathered together, shaking heaven and earth. "Daddy, Daddy!" Beside him, a 4 or 5-year-old girl happily sat in the man's arms. "Shh, keep your voice down, Rebecca, if my mother finds out, I'll be scolded again." The man put his finger on his lips, soothing her in a low voice. "Rebecca?" Luozi looked sideways at the person beside him. Wearing a half mask, only the mouth is exposed, the little girl in her arms has long pink hair and a smile on her face. Rebecca, this name, the granddaughter of King Riku? It shouldn't be the same name, so this man is her father, the legendary sword fighter Cyrus. Luozi thought curiously, inspecting her eyes. Seemingly noticing the sight beside him, Cyrus also glanced at Luozi, and was stunned for a moment. "Child? How can children come to the arena to watch the game? Oh, and he took his daughter too, so that's fine." Cyrus pretended not to see it. Rebecca in her arms was making noise, she stared at Luozi with wide eyes. "Little big brother. The milky voice is very cute." Luozi showed her a gentle smile, not disturbing the two world of the father and daughter. Originally, it was just a chance meeting, and it happened that the seats were relatively close. Luozi didn't care. However, the voice of the system suddenly came from my mind. Diva mission, behind every singer, there should be a girl troupe. A singer without a dancer is too lonely. As the ace manager, please help Diva Yuta form a backup dance troupe. The little girl in front of you has an excellent dance talent, use your dominance to invite her to join. Mission reward, Conqueror's Haki? Beast, she's only 4 years old. Luozi's brows twitched fiercely. It's not that I'm not a human being, it's all because the rewards are too tempting. Conqueror's Haki, an innate power that only 1 out of millions can awaken. He now has Roger's swordsmanship, but only when he masters the conquerors and learns to wrap the conquerors around the sword. The god's avoidance is the real god's avoidance. How should I invite Rebecca to join? She is only 4 years old now, and she can't decide on her own. Luozi didn't think of a good way for a while. For such a small child, it is better to deal with her parents than to invite Rebecca. Father, Cyrus, a legendary sword fighter who walked out of the arena, once set a record of 3,000 consecutive victories, which has not been broken so far. The mother, Scarlet, used to be the princess of Dressrosa, but she later abandoned her status as a princess and eloped with Cyrus with the acquiescence of King Riku. While thinking about it, the host's shout sounded in the arena, and the voice passed through the loudspeaker bug, overwhelming the cheers of the scene. The captain of the Hercules Pirates, Hercules Rod Gamma, won the just concluded match. Let us congratulate this stinky pirate. He has won 99 victories in total. In the arena, a muscular man with a bare upper body raised his fists high. The audience booed. Damn it, let this pirate win again. Since this guy came this month, he has won 99 games without knowing it. Rods? Roads? Roads. Some people hate pirates, and naturally there are gamblers who have won money, and enthusiastically shout the names of pirates. Satisfied with the warm atmosphere at the scene, the host shouted, "Well, now I want to tell you a piece of good news. Dear viewers, the next contestant on the original schedule accidentally twisted his ankle. Now the challenger who jumps in the queue, you can never imagine. Queue jumping." Rhodes in the field looked at the host, with the corner of his mouth raised. "Anyone is welcome, hurry up. Laozi is about to usher in his 100th victory. Captain Rhodes? Captain Rhodes." The audience became even more excited. The host smashed his fist and pressed the red button, It seems that everyone is looking forward to it. Then, I announce that the next challenger is invited, the player with the number 128, Kuai-long. When a cute dragon creature came out of the competition channel, everyone on the scene was dumbfounded. Chapter 7, Kuai-long walked out of the contestant passage, with his eyes wide open, and walked up to the duel stage with cute steps. Then, what? A wonderful creature. Is it a dragon? It's a little cute. Wow, those little wings are so cute. The auditorium was quiet for more than 10 seconds before finally bursting into applause. Many female viewers were captured by Kuai-long's cute appearance. Rod Gamma was different. He only had opponents in his eyes, and now he folded his arms and said with a relaxed posture, I have sailed all the way from North Blue to New World. I have seen all kinds of wonderful creatures. Like you, it's the first time I've seen you. Kuai-long blinked, recalling the master's explanation. After playing, follow the instructions, and when we win everyone, we can win a lot of money and buy you delicious rations? Where is the master? Kuai-long looked over Rhodes and looked for Luozi in the auditorium. This attitude made a cross appear on Rhodes' forehead. His shoulders shrugged slightly, and an angry laugh came out of his mouth. Hee, ignore it. But I won't be merciful. When I get on the duel ring, I'm a warrior. Remember, I'm the captain of the Hercules Pirates, with a bounty of 127 million, Rod Gamma. Don't worry, I will use the fastest fist to let you end without pain. Ding ding! The host rang the bell to start the duel, and at the same time shouted passionately, oh my god, do you draw swords when we meet? As expected of a pirate supernova, Rhodes once again made a declaration of victory. However, our fast dragon player seems to disdain to communicate with him at all. Oh, it can talk, is it? No way. In short, I announce that the game begins. When the word start fell, the atmosphere on the scene reached a new climax. The gamblers shouted frantically, get rid of it, Captain Rhodes. Rhodes made a move, and he used his favorite moves according to what he said in his declaration. First, the left uppercut hit Kuai-long's head, but he quickly retracted it after the punch, because the fist was swung so fast that it even produced a phantom. At the same time, when the opponent's attention was on the left fist, the real move, a right uppercut, had already been punched. Phantom fist, boom. With a dull sound, Kuai-long's attention was not on him at all, let alone a right uppercut. Even a left uppercut would not dodge it. Being hit on the head severely at this time, Kuai-long just tilted his head slightly, and looked at Rhodes with doubtful eyes. Although he couldn't speak, Rhodes saw a sentence from this line of sight. What are you doing? The scene was instantly quiet. Rhodes himself was also stunned. This is a fist worth more than 100 million, no, not breaking the defense? The host shouted excitedly, oh, Rhodes' signature stunt, phantom fist? The Kuai-long player never expected that the first fist was a feint. Oh, cunning human being, it was deceived. This punch, it's amazing. After eating this, the impassioned commentary came to an abrupt end. Ah, well, it seems to be all right. Kuai-long player humiliated Rhodes player with an expression of did a mosquito bite me just now. The host is worthy of being the host, with excellent on-the-spot reaction ability, and his attitude turned 180 degrees in an instant. Quick dragon? Quick dragon? Quick dragon. Kill him, Kuai-long. The gamblers were dumbfounded, and the audience, who hated pirates, suddenly stood up. The atmosphere was once again warm. Rhodes' complexion changed slightly, and he quickly opened the distance back, while kicking back. Don't hide if you have the ability. Hercules do a big round. The kick was so fast that ordinary people couldn't see it clearly. As a supernova pirate with a bounty exceeding 100 million, Rhodes has the strength. In this kick, he even used the unskilled armament Haki. Although he was unskilled, under the blessing of Haki, the power was doubled. However, faced with this blow, Kuai-long moved the small wings on his back, as if swat away a fly, and bounced away easily. With a bang, Rhodes' center of gravity was unstable, and he flew upside down directly off the ground, rolling to the edge of the duel stage. Seeing this scene, the audience was silent again. Cyrus, who was holding his daughter, couldn't help showing surprise on his face, and murmured softly, what a great power, what a strong defense. He tried to bring both sides of the duel, and he couldn't have done much better than the pirate if he didn't have a sword. Among all the people, Only Luozi was not surprised at all. If there is a level, Kuai-Long's level is level 100. It is not a quasi-god in the general sense, nor is it a fast dragon in the general sense, but a full-level quasi-god. Even in the face of the pirate emperor, Luozi feels that his fast dragon can beat him. Just, don't you fight back? Do you still need a trainer to command? Thinking in his heart, Luozi had no choice but to stand up and give instructions to Kuai-Long on the dueling stage, Thunder Fist. In the quiet scene, his voice was not loud, but it was delivered accurately. Hearing the master's voice, Kuai-Long's eyes lit up, he glanced at Luozi, and then quickly flew towards Rhodes. With clenched paws, thunder flashes? What a strange power! Rhodes was shocked, and before he could stand up from the ground, Kuai-Long had already flown. Above his head, a fist entwined with lightning fell towards his head. His pupils constricted suddenly, and he immediately rolled on the spot, dodging in a most dangerous way. Boom! The thunder fist struck the dueling stage, and in an instant, the stage with a diameter of more than 100 meters was shattered by the punch, splitting into dozens of pieces. Golden lightning flashed across the shattered stage. Flame Fist. Luozi gave the command again. Kuai-Long missed a hit, and the other paw immediately ignited flames, and it slammed into the air towards Rhodes, who rolled away on the spot. The fist transformed by the flames is a large-scale attack. Boom! In an instant, the fire filled the air and directly engulfed the opponent. Dragon Tail. In the sluggish atmosphere of the audience, Luozi calmly continued to direct. Rhodes, who was engulfed by the flames, was already scorched black, and he screamed and fell towards the auditorium. Suddenly, a huge figure flashed past. Kuai-Long flicked its tail and slammed it on Rhodes' face. With a snap, Rhodes was blocked like a basketball thrown out. He fell on the shattered duel platform and lay dead on the spot, not knowing whether he was dead or alive. The bounty offender with over 100 million, KO in 5 seconds. After a few seconds, earth-shattering applause erupted from the scene. Oh, Fast Dragon? Fast Dragon, Chapter 8, Win, Win? Kuai-Long player easily KO Rhodes player. The host realized it later, and shouted at the phone bug dumbfounded, just now there was. Is someone directing the Fast Dragon to fight? It's just that there are 30,000 to 40,000 people in the audience, and it's simply unrealistic to confirm who it is. I only know that it's a male voice, and it's very young. He looked down at the information registered by Kuai-Long. Name, Kuai-Long. Status, someone's pet. Age, unknown. History, first time participating. Who registered? I don't know anything except the name. A pet. The host was thinking thoughtfully, and taking advantage of the warm atmosphere, he continued to speak to the loudspeaker. Let's congratulate Kuai-Long for his first victory in the first match. The abilities of flame and lightning that he just displayed are really curious. Is it a devil fruit ability user? Devil fruit, known as the secret treasure of the sea, occasionally sells it on the black market, and the transaction price is in units of 100 million. It is located in the east, south, west, and north seas. It belongs to the legendary magical fruit, and some people have never even heard of it. But in the magical sea of the Grand Line, especially the New World in the second half, people here know more or less even if they haven't seen it. At this time, being attracted by the words of the host, aroused heated discussions among the audience. Yeah, it's fire again, and thunder again, isn't it an ordinary creature? Dragon is not a common creature. It is a legendary creature, and it is normal to have a little magical ability. No, maybe it's Zoan's ability user, the ancient species. If it is a capable person, it must be a phantom beast. After all, it can use the power of fire and lightning. It's not right, it should be the dragon that ate devil fruit. It's called Kuai-Long, first of all it's a dragon. Compared to this, is there someone directing Kuai-Long just after eating? Listening to the comments of the spectators, Cyrus took a deep look at the little boy beside him. Others didn't know, or they heard it, but didn't notice who it was. But he knows. People are right next to you, and it's hard not to notice them. Little big brother, so amazing. The young Rebecca narrowed her eyes, raised the corners of her mouth, and smiled innocently. Shhh, keep it a secret from big brother. Luozi made a hissing gesture and reached out to pat the little girl's head. Keep it secret. Rebecca's big watery eyes narrowed into crescents. Cyrus didn't stop him, but hugged the naughty and active Rebecca, and said to Luozi, Little brother, who are you? Luozi. Rebecca seems to like you. Cyrus smiled slightly. He didn't ask about Kuai Long and the boy. As an adult, of course he knew the basic social etiquette. The two are not familiar with each other, so it is inappropriate to ask such a question, and it will cause trouble to others. Luozi was worried about how to get closer, and suddenly invited the other party's daughter to join his backup dance troupe, and now the other party took the initiative to start a conversation, which was exactly what he wanted. Kuai Long is my friend, and I am a Pokemon trainer. Pokemon trainer. Cyrus was taken aback for a moment. This was the first time he had heard of the name Pokemon. So, the two started talking smoothly. At the same time, the voice of the host spread throughout the scene again. Oh, what a headache. The duel stage has been shattered because of the battle between Kuai Long and Rhodes. The backstage told me just now that today's game is over. After the construction crew repairs it, the arena will open again. Unfortunately, today, he didn't finish talking, and the audience quit. The person who bought Rhodes' 100 consecutive victories was so angry that he tore the gambling tickets in his hand to pieces and cursed. Damn pirates, trash. Why don't the stinky pirates die? Get out, Rod Gamma. What Hercules pirates, get out of Dressrosa. Go to hell. Gamblers are so real. As for the others, many of them became fans of Kuai Long all of a sudden, and now that the game has to be suspended, they are also dissatisfied. When will it open again? Next game day? 1 week. Can it be fixed? Money back. Bastard Gaz, refund your money. The host, known as Gaz, grinned and said, force majeure, audience grandpas, I can't decide if you want to refund the money. In short, it is impossible to refund the money. If you want to scold, please continue. I'm off duty. After finishing speaking, he spread his hands, put down the amplified telephone bug in his hand, and turned around to leave in a cool manner. The audience cursed and could only accept the reality. Luozi had a good talk with Cyrus, but he didn't forget the business. He left with the audience and went to the handicap to exchange for gambling tickets. He bought player number 128, Kuai Long, who wins all games. He pays twice for the first win, twice for winning 2 games in a row, and double for winning 3 games in a row. As a new player, you can only press 3 games. If you win all 3 games in a row, you can win 6 times the money. It's a pity that the dual platform was broken, and the arena was only willing to pay 2 times when it was exchanged. Counting the principal, it gave a total of nearly 15 million Baileys. It seems like a lot, but in fact the arena still makes a lot of money. After all, the money lost to him was lost by those who bought Rhodes to win. This is your money, please tap it. The staff of the arena presented a suitcase as a gift. Luozi counted and confirmed that the amount was correct. When he was about to leave, the previous host found him. Wait a minute, little brother. Is there something wrong? Kuai Long is your pet, right? Gaz said with a smile, you are the only one who bought the number 128 contestant. Luozi didn't intend to hide anything, he nodded generously, and at the same time used the elf ball to take Kuai Long back. Seeing this scene, Gaz was taken aback. What is this? Take such a big dragon into it. The power of science is really great. Luozi chuckled. But unfortunately the other party didn't understand the stock, it was really winking for the blind. Gaz laughed dryly, I don't know what your name is. Luozi. Little brother Luozi, it's like this, we are in the bullfighting arena. I hope you can continue to let Kuai Long participate in the competition next time. Luozi said unexpectedly, aren't you afraid of white hits? He only bet less than 5 million Baileys this time. If he bets 500 million, he can vomit blood in the arena. This time it was an accident. The next time we compete, Kuai Long's odds will be different. Gaz smiled wryly, and said, it's true that I'm working for you for nothing today. Luozi didn't believe this kind of rhetoric at all, and the one who opened the market was afraid that others would overwhelm him. It is impossible for the banker to lose, there is only the difference between a small profit and a big profit. Seeing this, Gaz had no choice but to say, you seem to be in urgent need of money? As long as you can let Kuai Long participate in the next game, our bullfighting arena is willing to pay Kuai Long to play at the price of 1 million Baileys per game fee. When is the next game? There's game day in a week. If I have time, I will consider it. Luozi nodded, neither refusing nor agreeing. Elegia is quite far from Dressrosa, but at the speed of Kuai-Long, it can be reached in 2 hours. That's really helpful. I look forward to seeing you again next time. Gaz sent Luozi out of the arena with a smile on his face. Left the arena. Luozi went to the restaurant to have dinner first, and then arranged a sumptuous meal for Kuai-Long. After that, he went to the Dian Muxi store as agreed. When passing through an alley, a group of tall and burly people with malicious intentions blocked his way from the front and back. Hey, kid, you seem to have won a lot of money. If you are sensible, put down the money, at least you can save your life. We are the Hercules Pirates, and our captain is a famous player in the arena, Master Rodgamma. Luozi took a glance. There were about 30 people, all armed. With a strange look on his face, he couldn't help but tease, "Are you here to find medical expenses?" Hearing this, the faces of all the pirates turned ugly. Today in the arena, the captain was beaten up by a dragon that came out of nowhere, and they lost everything. Do it. One of the cotters was furious and ordered immediately. 3 minutes later, a group of pirates with bruised noses and swollen faces knelt in a row and said flatteringly, "It turns out that Kuai-Long is your pet. Misunderstanding? This is a misunderstanding. This is all our belongings, please accept it." Chapter 9, Luozi took the tribute money from the pirates and counted them. 38,550 pele. There are odds and holes, banknotes, and coins. That's all. He looked at the cotters among them. Losing all. We bought the captain 100 consecutive victories. The cotter replied with a smile, covering his red and swollen cheeks. How much pressure? 30 million, all lost. Hearing this, Luozi's heart moved. I'm afraid it wasn't the arena's intention. What next? Contestant sprained his ankle? Let's make an excuse, send Kuai-Long up on purpose, and break Rhodes' winning streak. The dealer will still play. Thinking about it this way, most of the 15 million in my hand were contributed by these pirates. What's your name? Master, my name is Rhodes Kanan. The cotter smiled apologetically. Rodgamma is my elder brother. There are so many people surnamed Luo in this world, huh? Something seems wrong. Luozi shook his head. For the sake of money, I will forgive you once. The new world is not like the Sea of Paradise. There are pirates with bounties of over 100 million everywhere. Next time, keep your eyes open. After speaking, he left with Kuai-Long. Watching one person and one dragon leave the alley, the pirates finally breathed a sigh of relief. And then grinned in pain. Hiss, Master Kanan, this brat is really serious. A pirate covered his nose, his mouth was covered with blood. Shut up. You want to die, you can call that brat? You should call him Master Long. Out of respect for Kuai-Long, Rhodes Kanan gave his subordinates a hard look, and then whispered, maybe they will know about it. Keep your voice down. As expected of Lord Kanan. The subordinate said with a sneer, but, our last money has been robbed, what's for dinner? Humph, stupid, how could I hand over all the money? I secretly hid 1,000 baileys in my underwear. Kanan proudly took out a banknote from his crotch. All the pirates. What can 1,000 baileys eat? Where are the more than 30 members of our pirate group? Should each buy a marshmallow. As expected of Lord Kanan, he has wisdom unimaginable to ordinary people. The other side. Luozi walked into the Dian Muxi store, and as agreed, bought a set of videophone bug equipment worth 12.99 million baileys from the boss. After that, I took the fast dragon and left Dressrosa. As for Rebecca's matter, let's not be in a hurry. I have met Cyrus today, and I will find a chance to deal with the parents later. Anyway, there is no time limit for tasks. Because it was a night flight, it took more than 5 hours to return, and I almost lost my way at sea. In the early hours of the morning, Luozi finally arrived at Elegia. Back at the castle, both Gordon and Yuta are asleep. Luozi was not sleepy, so he simply found a suitable room in the castle and used it as the live broadcast room in the future. He installed the whole set of equipment he bought back little by little. The first is the largest large-scale video phone bug. This one costs 10 million yuan, and the other dozens of small phone bugs are only 2.99 million. According to the instructions provided by the boss, he was busy for more than an hour and finally completed the preliminary installation. As soon as he finished his work, Yuta's slightly sleepy voice came from the door behind him. Luozi turned his head away. Did it wake you up? You're back? I thought there were mice. Yuta's drowsiness disappeared, and he said happily, are these live phone bugs? Haven't tested it, but it should be fine. With it, your singing voice can be heard all over the world. The signal of the large-scale video phone bug is extremely strong, and its wave of course cannot cover the whole world, but as long as one phone bug receives the signal, this phone bug can act as a transfer station and continue to pass on the live signal. Yuta, come here, sit here. Luozi beckoned, signaling Yuta to sit in front of the phone bug's field of vision capture. After the people were seated, he activated the video phone bug, and immediately, the image of Yuta appeared on the big screen in front of him. Don't stand still, say hello to future fans. I'm a little nervous. Yuta looked at Luozi out of the camera with innocent eyes. What should I say, Ziz? You can say whatever you want. For example, introduce yourself first. With a little encouragement, Yuta took a deep breath and tried to say, hi everyone, my name is Yuta. In the middle of speaking, she asked Luozi for help with what to say next. Seeing this, Luozi reluctantly took out the paper and pen, wrote a paragraph, and then showed the text to Yuta. Yuta looked at the words on the paper firmly, and murmured stiffly, hi everyone, my name is Yuta. I am very glad to meet you who received this live broadcast signal. In the future, I will use the live broadcast method to bring you singing. I hope my song can bring you a little joy. Whether you are busy in the fields or adventuring at sea, I hope that in the world of music, everyone can enjoy its wonderful moments. Luozi continued to write, and Yuta continued to read. The tone is too stiff, you have to be normal. Don't read this sentence. No. Looking at the text content of the switch, Yuta finally reacted and blushed. For this, Luozi was both funny and helpless. Just keep writing. In short, let's sing a song first. This time, Yuta read silently from the bottom of her heart, and she immediately cleared her throat. Next, Yuta will sing a song that a good friend of mine taught me. The song is called, She Sang Target Pokemon Master. Compared with last time, she has improved a little bit. Although there is no music, Yuta's singing voice can still make people calm down and listen to her singing. Chi Fei glanced at the system's rating. 71 points. I don't know how the system scores. This level is far beyond the level of KTV Meba. While thinking, a system prompt appeared in my mind again. A talented singer, how can she only sing a few songs? The music library of the system has been updated. Do you want to extract new scores? Old trick. Luozi chose yes. Congratulations on getting the score Bluebird. This song is so classic, the theme song of Hokage Ninja. Luozi's eyes lit up. The difficulty of this song is much higher than that of Pokemon. Diva training task, teach the singer Yuta Bluebird. When the singing score reaches 60 points, reward the Mangekyo Sharinon of the manager's random character. Chapter 10, Bluebird. Luozi is very familiar with this kind of song. He used to wait for Star TV to play this song at 5:30 every day. I don't know how many times I have listened to it. Sing, of course I can sing, but I can't sing well, it belongs to the KTV level. This song is much more difficult than Target Pokemon Master. If he is asked to teach Yuta with a cappella, he is afraid that the teaching will be wrong. Therefore, a complete musical score is required. Thinking of this, he looked up at Yuta, and said silently, let's start here for today's live broadcast. Yuta, who has been paying attention to him, immediately turned to the phone bug, said goodbye to fans who did not know if there were any, and then jumped off the stool. Ziz, I'm so happy. Without the threat of the camera, Yuta returned to her lively nature. She happily hugged Luozi and chatted. I'll teach you another song today, Luozi said with a smile. He walked to a cabinet beside him, took out a blank sheet music, and quickly started writing according to the content provided by the system. This is the stave. Music is recorded by marking notes of different durations on 5 equidistant parallel horizontal lines. Luozi is not very used to this thing, and most of them are returned to the teacher. However, there are ready-made ones that can be copied right now, so it is not a big problem. Soon a score was written. Yuta poked his head, and Dorami hummed a few words. Did you write this? It's amazing, how can you know everything, Ziz? I don't have this kind of ability, At most I can use the universal chord 453-6251. Luozi smiled and said, this song is not difficult. I'll sing it a few times, and you memorize the lyrics. Aha. Yuta looked expectant. Luozi brewed for a while, and then began to sing, when you spread your wings and fly, make up your mind not to look back, the goal we yearn for is the blue sky. As soon as he sang 2 lines, Yuta couldn't help applauding excitedly. It sounds so good, so amazing. Ziz, you are awesome. You are a genius. Luozi said angrily, can't you finish listening quietly? Sorry, seeing that the little girl had no intention of reflecting on it at all, Luozi had no choice but to sing it again. This time, Yuta did not interrupt, but listened carefully. This song is so high-pitched, and Ziz, you're a little out of tune. Yuta held the score and pointed out mistakes like a teacher. Luozi, in the end I teach you, or you teach me. He flicked Yuta's forehead, you sing. Then I will sing. Rubbing his forehead, Yuta turned to the score and began to sing a cappella. Her hands-on speed is really ridiculously fast, at least she sang it completely, but the treble part is flawed. Luozi glanced at the system score. 47 points, failed. What kind of genius is not as good as me? Luozi slandered. The little girl wanted to stand up and call the shots because of her talent? Only 47 points. Yuta looked at Luozi pitifully, and said coquettishly, you can't score higher. What's the use of me playing high? The system thinks you failed. Luozi said helplessly, don't be lazy, you must learn today. Under his relentless suppression, Yuta couldn't make waves, so he had to sing over and over again. Luozi pointed out some mistakes as much as he could, and just like that, the two sang back and forth dozens of times. Finally, singer, Yuta singing points, 60 mission completed. Congratulations on getting the Mangekyo Sheri non, Uchiha Obito, this time I passed. Yeah. Yuta raised his hand happily. By the way, what's the name of the song? Bluebird. Bluebird. What a meaningful name. Yuta can feel the emotion that the song wants to convey, and there is a touch of sadness in it. You too, do you know what time it is? At this time, Gordon opened the door and looked at the 2 children sitting at the desk with helplessness on his face. It's more than 3 o'clock in the night. Yuta, I can understand your love for music, but you need to have a good rest. Yuta, go to sleep. Luozi patted the little girl's head. Sorry, Gordon, for interrupting your rest. You should also rest earlier. After saying good night to each other, Yuta left the live broadcast room. Gordon nodded and said, Luozi, thank you for your hard work. I rest too, Mr. Gordon. Said it was a break, but it didn't. After Luozi returned to his room, he walked to the mirror. His eyes narrowed slightly. In an instant, the originally black eyes turned blood-colored, and 3 hook jades appeared in them. Afterwards, the 3 hook jade that turned rapidly turned into a sickle shape again. Mangekyo Sheri non. Among the Hokage ninjas, the Uchiha family's advanced pupil technique. Uchiha Obito's eyes, remember it was called Kamui. Luozi felt the passing of pupil power. I don't know if it's an illusion, but when he activates Sheri non, it consumes physical strength. Instead of chakra, he doesn't have chakra either. The Kamui, with the left eye, can distort space from a distance, and can also enter and exit different spaces by itself. The Kamui in the right eye can not only transfer itself back and forth between the real space and the different space, but also suck the enemy into the different space, and can make itself hollow, so as to avoid the enemy's attack. Double-eyed Kamui, the pupil technique will be activated faster, but consumes more stamina. Luozi experimented with the new ability and felt good. In addition to Kamui, there is another ability. Susanoo, the ultimate ninjutsu that combines offense and defense. It's just that Luozi's current physical strength cannot support the complete Susanoo, whose size surpasses the mountain peak. Currently, he can only summon a skeleton. It seems that we need to strengthen our physical exercise. People in this world are all physical monsters. When the top powerhouses fight, they can fight for 10 days and 10 nights. Thinking of this, Luozi immediately lifted the Sheri non. He rubbed his eyes, feeling a little sour. Forget it, let's exercise tomorrow. Shaking his head, Luozi took a shower and went to bed. Lie on the bed and turn on the system. Currently there are 4 missions. The first one, Yuta sings target Pokemon Master and reaches 80 points, rewarding a random beast. The second one, when Yuta's fans reach 100, the reward is 10% of Roger's sword skills. The third one invites Rebecca to join the dance troupe and rewards Conqueror's haki. In the fourth, Yuta sang Bluebird and reached 80 points, and Mangekyo was upgraded to Eternal Mangekyo. Mangekyo is used excessively, and it will lose its light before Yuta sings to 80 points. Try to use it as little as possible. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.